Just the back and forth momentum flop, and there's a big rock. Here comes Romero, but a pull counter.
There we go. We have a champion, ladies and gentlemen.
What's good, y'all? Romero17, and today we got ourselves some patch spoilers, the January patch spoilers. Now, mind you, this is not all of them, and I will keep you guys updated if they drop more. So the big thing with these patch spoilers, right, is going to be the negative GA has finally been removed, which is something we've been calling for quite some time. Excuse me, I'm just going to zoom in right here. So remove the effect of negative grapple advantage in the ground game. Previously, negative grapple advantage will both speed your opponent's transitions up and slow yours down. This is after a denial. Now it will no longer slow you down. This should encourage more activity in the ground game and make it harder for a fighter to hold a position for too long. This is huge, mainly because it would still take only 1 or 2 denials in certain positions. Sometimes a couple denials should trigger in other positions to really slow you down, and you really couldn't move, which will lead to people getting subbed easier than expected or people getting finished easier on the ground than expected. Now, granted, this doesn't mean that you can still just transition whenever you want without any thought about what your opponent's offense is, but this is huge with regards to speeding up the ground game and encouraging people to transition more, right? You get your transition denied, and then maybe you try to race it with a contextual transition, but you couldn't really do it before because your transition was going to be slower. Now that's not going to be the case. Now there is some other changes where they assigned the proper stances to fighters that had their official UFC fight metric. They had them as orthodox, so the game immediately imported them as orthodox, but obviously throughout the career they're fighting as southpaw, and fixed a rare unplayable state during the clinch grappling exchange. I can only think that that's going to be talking about some flying submissions and things of that nature. Some more things here we'll look in here. Improve the speed and evasive properties of ducking. Now, I've said countless of times on stream where I've clearly ducked a strike, and the strike will go out of its way to do whatever it can, whether it will morph the forearm or morph the leg or cause an extension of range just to track you when you're ducking. There's still needs to be things too with slips and whatnot. Slips have been more responsive than the ducks, but we still have issues where you slip and things still track. So I'm sure that's also going to be involved there too. So that's going to be really good. Fix a rare unplayable state from cage knockdowns. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that caused people flying out of the octagon. They should also fix the camera issue that happens from some cage knockdowns, because what happens there is that you get knocked down by the cage and you are no longer able to defend yourself, essentially. So that's not really good at all. Fix an issue where knees could be caught in the clinch and result in the fighters getting stuck. Okay, that's good. That's where they kind of T-pose a little bit, which is never a fun time where your fighter is T-posing against your will. So that's not really a good thing, but it's a good thing that it's fixed. All right, cool. We'll go back here. Increase the influence of the ground striking attribute on posture, ground and pound damage, especially for elbows. So this is going to have an increased importance on the move levels for your ground and pound moves as your fighter. So guys like Khabib, guys like, let's say, hey, even Derek Lewis, right? His ground and pound is pretty not MMA ground and pound in terms of wrestling, but when he gets to the position, he lays down bombs. His ground and pound should be pretty devastating. So this constitutes an increase in damage for postured ground and pound and rewards fighters who specialize in it. At a max attribute, the change should lead to a buff of 10% for punches and about 23% for elbows, which are riskier because you can slide, you can evade those elbows a little bit easier than you can the crosses. So not only is this going to increase, this is going to lead to more action on the ground because you don't want your opponent to be in a position where they can posture up on you over and over again. You definitely want to avoid the mount. You really want to avoid a lot of shots. This would really make back mount flat super dangerous too. So this is really overall some good changes. Now, obviously, these are patch spoilers. This is not everything that's in the patch, and there might be some more things that you guys are going to like. But for now, this is just the first instance of the patch spoilers. The moment that there's some more patch spoilers, I'll post it on my channel and keep you guys updated. Romero17, I appreciate all of you. I'm out of here.